Okay, well, the man of the day is back. You know, April is my birthday month, so I always feel like you do this just for me, Andrew Lessman.
Of course I do.
That's what I figured.
Yes.
Actually, it's something that you and I wait for, and wow, 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 have you outdone yourself. You know, I think for most of us out there, you know you should be taking your omegas. We're not eating our fish, but when it comes to the world's finest omegas, no one does it better. No one makes it better. There is no repeating. There's no aftertaste. There's no mercury. This is all amazing, and this is something you only do for us once a year and once a year only.
Once a year. We typically have it available throughout the year. The largest size is a 360 capsule supply. The price of the 360 normally is $20 more than the today's special price on the 750 capsule supply. So that price would be a good price on the 360, but today it's for 750 capsules. Once a year we do this, the counter on the screen, we're actually more than halfway through our quantity for the day. Well over halfway through the quantity in the large size. So we're way ahead of ourselves. This is going to sell out by the end of the day. But this is something, when you look at that counter, what that counter translates to are tens of millions of capsules. And that's what enables us once a year to do this in a fashion that provides incredible savings. And it's not just that this product has no fishy aftertaste, and it's going to deliver its benefits without any issues or problems, which most people, when it comes to an omega-3 product, I used to always call it the product you love to hate. You love it because of the benefits, but you hate it when you use it. But not ours, because ours, the quality of the fish oils, the natural technology we've achieved to eliminate, neutralize that fishy aftertaste, and also the balance of the omega-3s. The typical omega-3 product that represents probably 99% of the omega-3s that all of us out in America might consume contains the inappropriate, the wrong balance of omega-3s. When you look at omega-3s, the most important is DHA. It represents 2/3 of the dry weight of our brain. And what does that mean? If you eliminate water from the tissue of your brain, 2/3 of it is DHA. DHA is the secondary omega-3 in most omega-3 products. It's our primary omega-3 in our product. DHA, as concentrated as it is in our brain, it's more concentrated than calcium is in our bone. It's even more concentrated in our retina. So as far as our eyes, as far as our brain, the very structure of those organs requires an abundant and constant supply of DHA. Unfortunately, the way we eat in America, and again, this is not me being an alarmist and trying to create worry or concern. I'll read you quotes from clinical scientific studies. I'll read you quotes from the US government that charitably says that 80% of us don't get the omega-3s we need. That actually it's over 90% of us that don't. And when it comes to young people, even less. The young and the older, it's sort of in the middle. It's a little bit better, but a little bit better means that 3/4 of it still don't get the omega-3s we need. We'll talk about the benefits, whether it's just beauty benefits, vanity benefits, the luster, the radiance of our skin and hair depend on omega-3s. Our nails, we think of our nails as being a dry structure. Fatty acids are a critical component. Why biotin delivers its benefits to our nails, it's involved with how fatty acids are incorporated into the protein tissue of our nails. So again, fatty acids are critical for the beauty and health of our nails. And then of course our cardiovascular system, maintaining healthy blood cholesterol, blood triglyceride levels, blood pressure levels, and blood sugar levels. The four most important levels that we all try to monitor for our health and longevity. Omega-3 fatty acids help to keep those in the normal range. So it's a long list of benefits, and I'll get the clinical science. We'll go through that. We'll go through some reviews. But it's an exciting opportunity that we only do, as Shannon said, once a year.
Absolutely. And it used to be the product where we would say, you love it, but you hate it. You love to hate it. Not the case with this. Take a moment to read some of those customer reviews. In fact, on a fish oil product, 4.7-star customer pick. So here are your choices. And remember, it's a once a year and once a year only opportunity. Most notably, I take this twice a day. And actually, I remember when we first started talking about omegas with Andrew, we talked a lot about cardiovascular health for obvious reasons. But now, yes, we talk about your eyes, we talk about your brain, we talk about your hair, we talk about your skin. My doctor actually has me taking this twice a day for management of my mood and my stress. I know you might find that shocking that I would need assistance in that area, but I know it's certainly helped me. So I'll just tell you right now, I go for the 750.
You weren't talking to me when you said
yeah, exactly. Shockingly. So I'm going for the 750 for obvious reasons, and that actually is the predominant. That's the big choice for everybody. You only do that when you do a Today's Special, too.
Actually, the large size is 360, and the reason why the large size is a 360 is not only is our product unusually mild, completely mild, but also our product is unusually high potency. And I could grab some. We have some capsules that we got from typical products that you'll find in a store here on the counter, and those are the typical products you'll find in the store.
Right.
And if we look here, let's put it in the middle. There's our omega-3.
So this is a case where size does not matter.
Size does not matter here. When we're looking at the smaller capsule, of course, easier to swallow.
Right.
The smaller capsule, oddly enough, gives more omega-3s per capsule. My point was, that gives 500 milligrams in the middle. These all give roughly between 300 and 360 milligrams of omega-3s. Our capsule, because of the quality of our oils, we assayed the batch that we just made for these shows, which literally we just made a couple of weeks ago. We assayed it. It was over 600 milligrams of omega-3s per capsule. Label claim is 500, but you get a little bonus. You get a cushion of another 100 milligrams.
Andrew, can you describe that for people again? Because I honestly didn't know that. And the average person watching probably doesn't realize if they're looking at their fish oil product, just because something says fish oil does not necessarily mean they're getting what they need.
Well, because if you look at the labels of those other products there, our product has 500 milligrams of omega-3s. You look at their labels, it will say 1,000 or 1,200 milligrams fish oil omega-3s. So you go, wow, that's more than double the potency of mine, more than double the potency of Andrew's omega-3s, but it's not. It's actually about half the potency, a little bit more than half the potency. The reason why is when it says 1,000 or 1,200 milligrams fish oil omega-3s, it's telling you 1,000 or 1,200 milligrams of fish oil. One of the components of fish oil is omega-3s. Our fish oil is higher quality, higher concentration of omega-3s. That's why we get so much omega-3 into such a small capsule.
Wow.
Their fish oil is low quality fish oil, very low concentration of omega-3s. That's why to get just a little omega-3, you need a lot of fish oil. And of course, most of those capsules also contain a form of fish oil called ethyl esters. It's not a natural form. Your body can extract the omega-3s from those ethyl esters, but as it does so, I said this last night, as it does so, when your body cleaves the ethyl ester and metabolizes that ethyl ester, it liberates ethanol. What is ethanol? Ethanol is alcohol. And as I said last night, if I want to be consuming alcohol, it's a glass of wine. It's not my omega-3s. And the natural form of omega-3s are triglycerides. You eat a healthy piece of salmon, healthy piece of fish. The omega-3s you're consuming are in the form of triglycerides, the exact form that we use, again, not the typical form in the products at stores. It's in the interests of the products in stores, whether it's pharmacies or discount stores or supermarkets, for you to think, it's in their interest for you to think, omega-3s are omega-3s, they're all created the same, there's no difference at all. But they are not. They're absolutely, from a biochemical standpoint, dramatically different, from a quality, purity standpoint, dramatically different, from an environmental standpoint. How are these omega-3s fished and harvested? Ours are independently, third-party, unrelated to us, certified to be environmentally harvested. So everything about our product, the fact that you could swallow this small capsule easily, you could even take it on an empty stomach, totally empty stomach. You could take a handful of them on an empty stomach. You don't need to. You will not notice any fishy aftertaste or fishy repeat. We make a product. I read all the reviews. I read all the feedback. I've been doing this for, hard to say, 38 years. So I clearly understand what it is people were seeking with an omega-3 product. And most people weren't really seeking omega-3s. They were just seeking an experience that wasn't miserable when they got their omega-3s, because no matter how much their cardiologist or doctor said, you have to be getting these. If the capsules are unpleasant to swallow, repeat, cause nausea, in some cases even vomiting, why would you continue taking them no matter how compelling that statement of your doctor was? So I just made sure that I made an omega-3 that was the most scientifically advanced, the most comprehensive, but also a perfect experience.
It is indeed. So the biggest thing that you have to do is choose your size of choice, of course. If you take it twice a day like I do, then for obvious reasons, you're going for that 750 count size. Remember, Andrew doesn't do that unless it's a today's special. Normally, that jumbo size would be the 360. But to put it in perspective, so this is where our price will go. This is your price today, and this is your savings. So on the most popular choice, it is the 750. That's almost a $200 savings. But if you clearly you can see it's our finest value of the day. But just as an example, after today, after the stroke of midnight, the 360 will actually be $20 more than it is to more than double your capsule count. So is it any wonder or any reason why most of us are doing that 750? And I hope that you take a moment to read some of those reviews, because this is so markedly different from anything that you've heard or read about. Chances are, I didn't know that there was a difference when I saw fish oil on a capsule. I had no idea that I might not be getting what I'm paying for, and maybe you didn't either. But the fun thing for me, because I've known Andrew for over 20 years, like Colleen and Bobby and Adam, like all of us have here at HSN, we weren't vitamin takers. But when we first started talking about the omegas, it was primarily and predominantly about cardiovascular health. And now to see this migrate, yes, into the corners of beauty as a beauty product, but for your eyes and for your brain, and yes, for my mood, and I know it's made a big difference for me. I just love the fact that it is so seamless. It is such a pleasure to take. And I can tell you for a fact, because I've been told in the past that I should be taking omega-3s, it wasn't the experience that I'm getting with my Andrew Lessman vitamins, and I know you feel the very same way. And that's why most of us who are choosing to select it today are getting that 750 count size, because we love it. It's a pleasurable experience, but then you get the benefits you want to.
And I'll show through the charts here that because our small capsule is 500 milligrams of omega-3s per capsule, actually, as I said, we assayed the batch we just produced, it was a little over 600 milligrams. You're getting what the dietary recommendation is. For those of us who are just taking them to make sure we're getting the benefits from omega-3s, 500 milligrams is the perfect level. I'll read it from the scientific charts. For those of us with, say, pre-existing cardiovascular issues, the recommendation of a doctor, you might take 1,000 milligrams. But typically, what I do daily is I take 2 capsules a day, but if I eat fish, I take one capsule per day. But that 750 capsule supply for an individual is a 2-year supply, more than a 2-year supply for 2 people sharing them. It's a 1-year supply. So when you do the math, it's incredibly affordable. As expensive as this can be, say when it's not a Today Special, it's less than half price today when you're getting it as part of a Today Special, and you're getting the most sophisticated, the most trouble-free, problem-free omega-3 product in the world. And I'll read some of the charts, and we have some great charts, what Shannon was talking about before, about brain function, about memory, concentration, about emotional sort of stability, emotional balance. So Journal of the American College of Nutrition. Omega-3 fatty acids have been part of our diet since the beginning of time. It is only for the past 150 years that omega-3 fatty acids have been decreased in Western diets due to agribusiness and food processing. So now it used to be that omega-3s and omega-6, the 2 essential fats, they were equal in our diet. Today we get 10, 20, 30 times more omega-6. And many say that's at the core of our cardiovascular issues, our neurological, our brain issues. So American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, a greater intake of the long-chain omega-3 fatty acids, eicosapentaenoic acid, EPA, and docosahexaenoic acid, DHA, has been recommended by a variety of scientific and regulatory bodies to reduce population risk for coronary artery disease.
Andrew, can I ask you something? So if our balance is off in our diet, are the other supplements, are they off in their balance?
Well, I'm going to get to that in another chart, but part of the problem is when you really start sort of drilling down into this, yes, we need to improve our balance of omega-3s. And if all you were getting is EPA, then so be it. But when you look at the balance of omega-3s in fish, it's typically higher levels of DHA, about 55, 60, 65% DHA, and the balance EPA. When you look at a typical supplement, it's 60 to 65% EPA, when you look at our product, we flip it back to follow the natural blueprint, where the majority we provide is the DHA. And we also provide DPA, docosapentanoic acid, another naturally occurring omega-3 fatty acid. So we focus on the natural blueprint. Well, unfortunately, other omega-3 products simply focus on sort of what has become the industrial, sort of the agribusiness of fish oil standard. So as we continue here, Council for Responsible Nutrition. Dietary intakes of omega-3 fatty acids are typically very low. Frequent fish consumption or supplementation with EPA and DHA are the best ways to achieve a protective intake of about 0.5 grams daily. My little tiny capsule gives you that 0.5 grams daily. Journal of the American College of Cardiology. The target EPA DHA consumption should be at least 500 milligrams per day. That's exactly what we provide in our little capsule. And by the way, our capsule is about a third smaller than it was when we introduced it.
I was going to ask about that. It looks a little bit smaller.
Our capsule is the smallest today that it's ever been.
Yeah.
We continue to give you higher potency and a smaller capsule size because that's what people want.
So basically, if you can improve something, you do it. I mean, you don't even necessarily have to ballyhoo it. You just do it.
And oftentimes I'll improve things and I'll forget to tell everyone that I just forget because whatever, we've been working on the research to continue to improve it for since the beginning of our doing this. So as we improve things, it's just part of what we do. And we might not make a big deal out of the fact that right now, we have a lower potency version of this called Essential Omega-3. Right. This is the Maximum Essential Omega-3. Our capsule of Maximum Essential Omega-3 is significantly smaller than the original capsule of our Essential Omega-3, which has about 300 milligrams of omega-3s per capsule. So we just continue to improve it.
You do.
And the goal has been, if we look at this chart, the goal has been to achieve the numbers that this chart talks about. And the numbers it talks about is 500 milligrams per day. And for those of us, say, with underlying cardiovascular issues, and that would be at least 800 to 1,000 milligrams per day for individuals with known coronary heart disease. Additionally, DHA is far more abundant than EPA in the myocardium. Again, DHA is 60+% of the dry weight of the brain, almost 2/3 of the brain. And DHA is even more highly concentrated in our eyes, in the retina.
Wow.
And guess what? Even in our heart, DHA is the principal omega-3. And it's very difficult for the body to make EPA from DHA, but it's very easy for the body to make the EPA it needs from DHA. So DHA is sort of the top of the pyramid when it comes to omega-3 fats. Journal of Nutrition, a recent meta-analysis limited only to U.S. prospective studies that looks at a large number of studies, identified intakes of approximately 500 milligrams per day as affording the greatest protection. Again, exactly what we give in our little capsule. Current opinion in clinical nutrition and metabolic care. For the omega-3 fatty acids, a healthy target intake is about 500 milligrams per day, whether from oily fish or fish oil capsules. From Mayo Clinic proceedings, patients should consume both DHA and EPA. The target DHA and EPA consumption levels are about 1 gram per day for those with known coronary artery disease and at least 500 milligrams per day for those without disease. The reason I read these charts, hopefully it lends credibility to the levels we achieve here, but also that this is not me telling you you need to do this. These are esteemed medical, clinical, biochemical, nutrient specialists, whatever it might be. These are the experts talking about these ingredients. These are not folks selling you vitamins. These are not making vitamins. These are folks whose life has been dedicated to helping you retain your health. So from the Journal of the American College of Cardiology, both DHA and EPA are present in most fish, particularly oily ones, generally in a 2-to-1 ratio. I was talking about this before. 66% DHA, whereas supplements of fish oils typically have a ratio of 2 to 3, 40% DHA or lower. We again flip it back the other way to follow fish. Although feeding pure DHA can raise EPA levels to a small extent, the reverse is not true. In other words, when you get your EPA, you can't readily convert that to DHA, but DHA can raise EPA. So again, DHA is the preferred source in terms of balance. You want both, but you want majority DHA. Nutrition Journal, a wealth of evidence indicates that consumption of fish or dietary fish oils containing long-chain omega-3 fatty acids is associated with cardiovascular benefits, including a reduction in circulating triglycerides and reduced mortality from coronary heart disease. It's associated, again, it's an essential nutrient. It's associated with health benefits. Circulating individual and total omega-3 polyunsaturated fatty acid levels are associated with lower total mortality, especially coronary heart disease, death in older adults. Because these biomarkers were measured among older adults, our findings suggest that dietary omega-3 polyunsaturated fatty acids late in life may reduce total mortality. In fact, the Framingham study that's been going on for a few decades just published additional findings in March saying that that's exactly the case.
Wow.
From nutrients, however, dietary intake of seafood is consistently low across all ages for men and women in the United States. Low. Less than 10% of the population met the 2010, and those were pretty conservative guidelines. Dietary Guidelines Advisory Committee recommended prompting the 2015 dietary guidelines to once again highlight the need to meet intake recommendations for seafood, specifically for omega-3s.
But you know, I think of that because I try to eat a healthy diet, and certainly, Lord knows, I certainly walk the line on occasion, but even when you're trying to eat healthy, as an example, if I were going to make halibut, nice little fatty fish, that's $10 to $12 for a fillet.
But it's very expensive. By the way, halibut isn't one of the most fatty fish.
Oh, really?
Things like tuna,
right,
salmon, and also
mackerel?
Mackerel, very fatty fish. Anchovies, sardines, very fatty fish.
Okay.
Again, a lot of these fish also have issues, and I know people are thinking about them at home about mercury.
Yeah.
So expense, freshness, mercury. So there are all these concerns that would undermine, otherwise being very inspired to consume fish. I happen to love fish, but then I've had in the past when I start eating a lot of sushi and fish and I get my mercury levels tested, they're higher than I would like them to be. So we have to be very conscientious and intelligent. So I always say the benefits of eating fish are so high that it would be hard for some of these other reasons, whether it's farmed or fresh or things like that, to really discourage us significantly. Because the benefits of eating fish for our brain, for our eyes, for all the systems in our body. So we have to do so in a responsible, in a measured fashion, but I encourage everyone to make an effort to consume more oily fish.
So I bet if we asked most of our friends who are watching today, when's the last time that you made fresh fish, you might even be challenged to come up with an answer. Fish sticks don't count, okay? The little fish patty at the little arch, golden place does not count. But Andrew, isn't it true, part of the reason that you chose the name Essential, if I'm not getting these every day, I mean, these are essential. It's not like something I can willy-nilly go, oh, I can do without my omegas.
No, but what's interesting is when we think of essential, we think of the word, that's essential, that's important. A vitamin is essential. Scientifically speaking, our body can't make a vitamin. So we know vitamins, minerals, our bodies can't make them. We have to get them from the outside, whether through diet or through supplementation, or we're going to suffer the consequences, deficiency, insufficiency of that nutrient. Most of us don't realize that omega-3s are precisely the same. Omega-3s really should have the word vitamin put in front of them. They don't play a coenzyme role specifically in our body, so maybe technically they shouldn't be considered a vitamin for that reason. But just like a mineral, we can't make a mineral, we need to deliver that mineral like calcium or magnesium or things like that. When it comes to omega-3s, our body can't make them. In that context, the word essential means we must get them from the outside. So when I say that our brain is 2/3 DHA, the most important omega-3, the one we focus on in this product, I mean that 2/3 DHA had to come from outside your body. Your body can't make that DHA. So your body needs to have these nutrients delivered, or the most important organs in our body will suffer the consequences. And I'll be reading from scientific charts here today talking about the fact that whether it's how our brain functions, or how our eyes age, or how our brain ages, whether it's going to be our emotional balance, the way we think, the way our memory functions, the way we concentrate, it's all directly related to how our brain functions. 2/3 of the structure of our brain. Take something that represents 1 or 2% of the structure of your car. You remove it, you'll notice it. Imagine something that represents 2/3 of the structure of your car. Your car doesn't exist. It's not a car anymore. At least it's not functioning. So to think that we could actually contemplate that our eyes and brain and all of that should work just fine, even though their essential structural molecule, their principal structural molecule that has to be delivered from the outside is not being delivered over the course of our lifetime, it's almost unimaginable that that wouldn't have not just significant consequences, but severe consequences. And I think it's sort of a slow and pernicious consequence because we all live the same way. It sort of becomes the norm. So when 80, 90+% of us don't get omega-3s on any kind of a reasonable basis, it becomes the norm, so the insufficiency becomes the norm, and maybe it becomes less noticeable. Certainly not to the scientific bodies and the medical institutions that I'm quoting, but I think for all of us, and especially when omega-3s are so miserable in most cases to use, it's easy to kind of continue down that path.
It is indeed. I'm telling you, read those reviews. I mean, literally, people are doing little handsprings. They love it. They do, and I do too. I wait for this day, and I know you do as well. Remember, it's a 4.7-star customer pick average on a fish oil product. If that doesn't make you scratch your head, I don't know what will. But this should also make you sit up and take notice. Yes, Andrew does it once a year and once a year only. More than 3 to 1, we're choosing that 750 count size, which remember, Andrew only does when it's a today's special. Otherwise, we're looking at the 360 as our largest count size. But to put the value in perspective, and certainly the 30, the 90, the 180, the 360, and the 750, a lot of times I'll do the smaller sizes for when I travel because, as I said, my physician wants me to take it twice a day, you know, so that's just good to consider, great for Mother's Day, Father's Day, etc. But 3 to 1, most of us are doing the 750. It's actually $20 more to get the 360, less than half the capsule count. In comparison to 750. The
750, the price on the 750 is a great price on the normal 360.
It is.
So a great value. It is. And because it's the typical omega-3 capsule in stores it's about 300 milligrams or so. Ours is 500 milligrams per capsule. So that 750 is really as though you're getting over 1,000 capsules.
Yeah.
So when you really do the math
amazing.
there, it's like you're getting more than 1,100 capsules. Right. So, and that means you're getting 1,100 capsules at that price. It's about a dime a capsule.
That's crazy.
It's incredibly affordable for the most trouble-free, problem-free, pleasant. I mean, the reviews, I haven't read any. I'll get to some in a moment. They read like love letters. And I have a little document here that goes through some of the phrasing that's so common in the reviews about great or no stomach upset, where it's mentioned hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. But what I wanted to do, last night I read some great reviews about the eyes, about dry eye, that, of course, part of the lubricating system for our eyes involves omega-3 fatty acids, and just great studies, analyses talking about dry eyes and talking about omega-3s. We talked about radiance of the skin and the health of our skin. This time of year, oftentimes it's now starting to warm up a little, but our skin can be incredibly dry. True. So again, omega-3s are part of the lubricating system, the moisturizing system of our skin. So whether it's cardiovascular benefits, which I just read charts that talk about huge population studies, and that's the #1 threat to our health is cardiovascular health. And it's not a surprise because the omega-3 fatty acids are a critical part of a normal, healthy cardiovascular system. But these are some fun charts that have recently been published. And when you've been doing what I do for as long as I've been doing it, and you see the way the discussion on the products evolve, if you watched me on TV talking about omega-3s 25 years ago, really emphasize the cardiovascular benefits.
Yes. Yes.
Now, there's just dozens of other things I get to talk about. And here's one from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. And we get these quotes only from esteemed organizations, respected organizations. If associations with omega-3 content are causal, optimization of omega-3 fatty acid intake could improve retention of cognitive function in old age. What they're saying is that they've observed over and over and over again that as omega-3 levels suffer, we see more poor performance in terms of cognitive function in old age. So if it's causal, meaning could those lower omega-3 levels actually be part of the cause of cognitive decline? And again, in our society, our diet is not delivering us the omega-3s we need. And this is from a medical journal, a neurological journal out of Taiwan. Evidence is accumulating to suggest omega-3 fatty acid deficiency contributes to accelerated cognitive decline. Recent studies have associated deficits in DHA abundance, that's the principal fatty acid in our brain, 2/3 of our brain, with cognitive decline during aging. Overall cognitive performance and psychomotor speed, how quickly we process information and how quickly we translate information to action, were positively correlated with DHA EPA status. I don't know how much more clearly you state that. From Nature and Neuroscience, brain and retina DHA decrease resulting from nutritional deficiency or aging, which defines our society, are associated with reduced cognitive ability, increased emotional behavior, and decreased vision. I mean, I should read that one again, but I think it speaks pretty clearly on its own. Journal of the American Heart Association. Our results support the beneficial effects of fish consumption, the major source of long-chain omega-3 polyunsaturated fatty acids, on brain health in later life. This is from the American Heart Association.
Wow.
Now telling us about brain health. And they were among the first to recommend omega-3s for heart health a few decades ago. In this study, among older men and women, plasma phospholipid long-chain omega-3 polyunsaturated fatty acids, and in particular, there we go, the one we focus on, the one others do not, DHA, were associated with specific findings consistent with better brain health. Trials. A recent prospective study, the Singapore Longitudinal Aging Study, large study, showed that daily omega-3 fatty acid supplements were associated with lower risk of cognitive decline in a cohort of Chinese adults aged over 55 years. I mean, again, for example, over a 3-year time period, higher plasma omega-3 fatty acid proportions were associated with less decline in cognitive tasks mediated by processing speed. Over a 35-day period, positive effects of EPA DHA have been noted in just a 35-day period in both mood and reaction time. So again, we're all aging, myself included. I mean, I've been doing this on television now for almost 30 years.
Wow.
It's frightening that I started almost 30 years ago at QVC, been here at HSN approximately 22 years. And you could bet my job requires that my brain function well, that I do what I do there's no teleprompters, there's no notes or anything like that. So it's important for all of us, whatever our jobs might be, even if we just want to enjoy life, if we want to cherish the memories, storing memories require we have a healthy brain. Retrieving those memories require we have a healthy brain. Processing information quickly, maintaining that sort of mental and emotional agility, keeping our mood uplifted. We think about how our muscles function and things like that. Our brain is an organ that also functions. We think about heart function, so we exercise to keep our heart strong, our arteries flexible and able to carry the blood to nourish all the tissues in our body. But our brain's ability to function is directly related to its structure, and there's no molecule more important to the structure of our brain. Again, it's about 2/3 of its structure than omega-3s than DHA. And in our society, we don't deliver it by diet. So if this discussion does nothing more than encourage you to eat more fish, you don't have to get my product, but eat fish on a daily basis, fatty, oily fish, then I've accomplished what's necessary for our society to really turn things around.
Well, and you know what? If you look at the product, his products even look markedly different. I mean, so you can literally see the difference before you see the difference, if you want to think of it that way. So I know we're very busy. Remember, Andrew has only one more show a little bit later tonight with Colleen. So if you want that 750 count size, certainly that's the one that I wait for, and I know you do as well, especially if you have been told by a physician, as I have, that just in my particular case, he recommended that I take it twice a day. Now for me, especially with regard to cognitive function and memory and mood, it's been a significant improvement in my life. And what's interesting about Andrew's products, I expect to feel good. I do. And I thank you for that, because when I first started working with Andrew, I was 29, I was in my late 20s. I'm not anymore. But I think of myself, okay, I'm moving through my 50s, and doggone it, do you know, I feel better today than I did when I first met you. Wow. I do. But you know, I also feel like my cognitive function, I feel like we're doing the right things. And I guess I'll put it to you this way, God takes care of those who help themselves, and he really helps us along the way, which is, once more, I think why most of us are doing that large size.
Well, I think I look at my job.
Yeah.
Certainly, we manufacture vitamins. We do it in a way that no one else manufactures them in the same fashion. We do them entirely using solar energy. My company has no carbon footprint, hasn't had a carbon footprint for over 20 years. And then we also planted trees and offset the entire carbon footprint since the day I founded my company. So we're responsible in how we go about making our products. We donate prenatal vitamins. We're the largest donor of prenatal vitamins in the world. We've donated millions of years of prenatal vitamins. So we endeavor to go about what we do in the most responsible fashion possible. But what I do up here, the most important thing I do is provide information.
Yes. Not
necessarily about my products, but information that's necessary for our living a healthier life. That if you could replace some of the red meat you're eating or the chicken you're eating and replace it with omega-3 fatty acid-rich fish, then your brain will benefit, your nervous system will benefit, your eyes will benefit, because again, DHA is the principal fatty acid in your eyes, it's the principal fatty acid in your brain, and it's not just the principal fatty acid, it is the principal molecule in your brain. So if the functioning of your brain is important to you, and there's no escaping the fact that the functioning of any organ is directly related to its structure and directly related to the health of that structure, how well we maintain that structure, then again, we are not delivering the nutrient necessary, the structural molecule necessary for the structure and function of our brain and our eyes and other tissues and systems in our body, then again, that's what I'm trying to do. And you don't have to get my product. There's a gazillion brands of omega-3s in all the stores. It won't be like mine. It won't be trouble-free. It won't have the same form and the same balance and levels, but it's better than nothing. And it's an urgent call, sort of an urgent call to arms here in America, that we deliver the omega-3s that our brain and our eyes need. I'll quote studies again. These are not vitamin companies who write these clinical studies and do the scientific research. And they're talking about what an urgent epidemic is presented by the deficiency and insufficiency of omega-3 fatty acids in the American diet. The imbalance of fatty acids that causes our brains to function in a way that we don't necessarily want them to function in.
See, and that's the key differential. I mean, we're getting fat, we're just not getting the omegas and the fats that we need, and we're certainly not getting them in the balance to get the benefits that we seek. And that's why I think it's obviously you cannot put a price on the vital information that Andrew shares with us, but moreover, if you are going to spend your money, it's like a paycheck. If you're going to spend your money or bother to take anybody's omega-3 product, you deserve to be taking the best, because you deserve to reap those benefits. And I think there's certainly the idea, we always want you to go armed with the information that Andrew presents, but just remember, yes, knowledge is power, but this is the right product for the right price at the right time, and the only opportunity for the year. I am so excited for you. You can probably tell how passionate I am about this product, and I know between Colleen and Adam and myself, we all love taking our Andrew Lessman vitamins, and I meant it. I expect to feel good. And certainly we all have our challenges. I posted on the internet, I didn't sleep the last couple of days, but you know what? I still felt pretty good, because I feel like I'm doing good things for me. And this is a wonderful opportunity for you to be proactive about your health, and not just your cardiovascular health. If we appeal to some of those beauty benefits, why not? Certainly the mood, the stability, the mental capacity. I mean, you can fill in the blanks for every reason, and so many more. And chances are you've been told that you should take omegas. So take the best, get the best pricing that we offer for the year. Most of you are doing that 750 count size. Remember, our pricing is outstanding to begin with, especially when you consider how it's made. No contaminants. It's made with the energy of the sun. I mean, it's even made differently than other omega-3s.
And I was probably the first person to raise the contaminant issue over 20 years ago. Got a little flack for that. They said I was being an alarmist. I don't think others in my industry liked me to kind of kind of pull the curtain back.
Right.
But the reason why we were investing in testing the omega-3s, and we would see omega-3 materials come to our company that couldn't pass the test. So we knew that other companies were using those materials that we wouldn't use. And I think to the industry's credit, everybody is being, I think, more conscientious about testing.
Yes.
So it's something that we have always focused on, whether it's heavy metals like mercury, or whether it's going to be the organic contaminants that end up in the food supply.
Right.
So we make sure that they're contaminant free. I was just going to read some reviews. I have not been good about that. We have probably over 1,000 reviews with us. This is a product that, although it's a fish oil product, we don't pull out the bad reviews. About 95% of the reviews, I think a little bit more, are positive reviews. So really a remarkable product in terms of the quality of reviews.
You know what's interesting about you saying that too, Andrew? Even the punctuation you keep,
exactly as they. And I think what someone told me that there weren't any one-star reviews. That we had a few thousand reviews. I could be mistaken, but someone had told me there weren't any one-star reviews.
No.
Which is
You're right.
bizarre. Sometimes people give it a one-star review if it arrived broken or late or something like that. But it's a product, I think it's between 3, 4, and 5-star reviews. There are 98% of the reviews, and over 85%, I believe, are roughly 4 and 5-star reviews, or are 5-star reviews.
Yeah.
So let's just read some of those reviews quickly. Amazing. I've tried many omega-3 fish oil pills that claim to have no fishy taste, and this is the first one to actually deliver on that promise. I will never buy another brand of fish oil supplements again. Great product, so easy to take. It's just like Andrew says. A small capsule, no fishy aftertaste, and we get the best omega-3 on the market today. Thank you, Andrew, from Motley in New York. This I will never be without. I had tried a few others and read all the labels only to be disappointed and inconvenienced. I've been so happy to find Andrew, and I've never looked back.
That's nice.
He's the kind of guy we all should listen to. It's really worthwhile. That's nice. No fishy taste. I can swallow these without problems. Andrew understands and listens. Love this man. That's very sweet. I'm a senior citizen and I want quality vitamins and supplements. I get that with Andrew's products, and the Flex Pays help me purchase these and stay within my budget, especially today's, I think, 5 Flex on the large size.
You're right.
I don't want drugstore products that are hard to swallow. I choked once on a huge vitamin. It was scary. From Rosie in Florida. Superb. I have the most sensitive stomach, and I've been taking this for years. It really has no aftertaste and does not bother my stomach. A great product I will not go without. I use many of Andrew's products, and this is by far my favorite. From Stacy in California. Steady improvements to my health. This product truly is easy to swallow and tastes like orange, not fish. And most folks, I've never actually tasted the orange.
Yeah, I haven't either. No.
So it neutralizes the fish.
Right.
If not enough food is eaten with it and irritation occurs, that's if it repeats. I waited 60 days to complete this review, but the benefits were noticed early on. My vision has improved, especially at night. The whites of my eyes are brighter and small capillary veins have diminished. I've had regeneration of the enamel of my front teeth. Wow. My knee soreness has also decreased. I will reorder without a doubt. Fabulous. I could not digest any of the omega-3 capsules I purchased prior to ordering Andrew Lessman's omega-3. There's never a fishy aftertaste, and I no longer have indigestion. Thank you for a top product. From Juliana in Florida. Soft, brittle nails no more. And again, omega-3s are incorporated into our nails. I got the soft nail gene from my mom, and she was always trying to find a solution but didn't. But now I believe this product is my solution. Within a couple of weeks, I'm experiencing less cracking, peeling, and breakage. Excellent. This is honestly the first fish oil vitamin I have ever been able to actually swallow, for real. I've tried at least 3 or 4 times to take others because I know how beneficial they are, but I always ended up giving them away. Like many of the other reviews stated, they have absolutely no fishy taste at all.
Awesome.
I've even noticed an improvement in my skin. Love them. Great vitamins. We have purchased this product several times already since my husband's heart attack. We love the fact that they are made in the USA. Since I go back each time I run out, tells a story. As I would not repurchase if I did not like them and feel they were worth the money. best omega-3 on the market. This is my favorite omega-3 product. It is more potent and easier to swallow than anything you can buy over the counter. I will keep coming back for more. I love the reduced prices and free shipping specials, like today. That's from Glenda in Tennessee. One last one. Best for me, thank you for a fish oil without the fishy taste. I'm not a big fan of eating fish. I do love shellfish. Taking these capsules is the only way for me to get omega-3 for my health. I've tried other brands, but couldn't stand tasting the fish all day, fish oil all day. So I would say that these capsules are my favorite, and that's from Carol in Texas.
Isn't that awesome, though? I mean, when in all your born days did you ever expect to hear people rave about a fish oil product like that? I mean, in all seriousness. Oh, and you know what's so funny? Now, I know Andrew's grabbing something else, but you could have read reviews for over an hour.
Oh, we have over 2,000 five-star reviews, but we just did like a quick little word processing search over the reviews, and almost 1,000 times, 933 times, it said no fishy aftertaste, no aftertaste, and then no burp 71 times, no stomach upset, no upset stomach 43 times.
Oh, wow.
Doctor approves, doctor recommends 28 times. The word love was used over 1,000 times.
Wow.
The best was used as a phrase over 500 times.
Oh my gosh.
Great product over 400 times. Easy to swallow almost 300 times. So it's just, and words like fabulous and wonderful were used hundreds of times. So that's just looking at the 2,000 or so reviews, that it gives you a sense of how perfectly and how consistently reviewed they are. And the only question really is this is an opportunity.
For sure.
Because with all of my products here at HSN, and it's something that has always been the most encouraging thing to me, you get to send them back. If you don't love it, you can send them back for a complete refund. As it turns out, my products have by far the lowest return rate of any products here at HSN.
Absolutely, and what's interesting about that too is once you try his products, trust me, you're his forever. I mean, you really are, because there are no other products like this. So our other today's special, I'm really excited about, because I've actually never had the chance to present this with Andrew. And if I have to say though, for those of us out there who want the Omega, remember by far and away that 750 count size is the most popular one. And
probably the most limited. I bet it might sound like a lot, but we're probably down to barely over 10,000 available.
Well, since 3 to 1, I mean, that's, you know.
So speaking of heart health, there's a vitamin we're now going to talk about briefly. I decided to make it our second Today Special. It's never been a Today Special. And we're going to be talking about vitamin K2, MK7.
I'm excited about that. I honestly, I haven't presented this with you before, and this was new to me.
It's what I guess I've been waiting for the last 5+ years.